Now, obviously, I don't record a whole lot of videos out here at night because, well, it's dark AF. However, since it's Christmas, figured some of y'all might want to see what I've done with my little personal park I've made that only you can see in the dark. I have a bunch of solar-powered Christmas lights out back here, which have been up since the summer. But since the leaves have fallen on a lot of the trees in the center of this little copse, you can actually get a better taste of what they look like. So let's walk down the path, which you can't really see shit except for these lights, huh? This tangled section up here is the Total Party Skills Outdoor Studio, where you've seen quite a few videos recorded right here. This is where the magic happens, folks. Well, hey, folks. Welcome back to Total Party Skills. It's your old pal, King Krampus.
Well, hey, folks, it's your old pal, King Waspinator, and welcome back to Total Party Skills.
Christmas apocalypse will soon be upon us. And it's never too early to start considering what sort of presents you want to leave for the little ones under the tree in your New Year fallout month. So let's take a look in the Christmas
Why hast thou forsaken me? Barbie, why? Why?
Now, I'm not here to talk about the Barbie movie because I haven't seen it yet, and,
some of the things that people on the internet were choosing to complain about it early on.
Now you can say that you've lived to see it. All right, let's keep going. I guess we should throw some Christmas music up over this.
Jingle, 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 jingle,
Alright, now we're back to the back end where we got the actual little park area cut out, which once again, there's like no lighting out here aside from a couple little solar powered lights and a few key spots just for some sort of marker as to where the fuck you are in the dark. But then we got the back path that leads up to what I have dubbed the gazebo. And there you go, the Total Party Skills Trail of Lights.
Alright folks, you voted for it, so the theme of this year's Christmas special is Dark Sun. We have a couple different segments featuring Dark Sun coming up, but I figured we'd start off first things first by going over my collection of Dark Sun books. The full loadout. So these were pretty much all the books that I could find on Drive-Thru-RPG for Dark Sun that were available in print. Obviously, the 4th edition version I just got for completionist sake. It does have pretty maps, I'll give it that. And maybe a little bit more world detail here and there, but it's 4th edition, so, you know. And it introduced a bunch of new races from 4th edition that are also translated over to 5th edition, such as the Tieflings and Dragonborn, which integrate with the setting to mixed effect. Above it, we have Black Flames and Forest Maker, 2 adventure modules, both of which I'm pretty much chill on. Of the 2, I'd say Forest Maker is the more interesting, especially if you plant seeds for it early on in a campaign and build your players up to it. Black Flames has too much scenery, you could say. A lot of big scenes with super powerful beings doing things for the DM to describe and players to sit there and listen to. Dragon Kings is not a bad resource. You might not ever get to it and actually trying to run this game because it's for characters of level 20 and above, but it does help you understand some of the more powerful beings that wander the deserts of Athos. Sandwiched in between Dragon Kings and the Complete Gladiator's Handbook is Beyond the Prism Pentad, which doesn't have a label on its spine for some reason. It's a good summary of the events of the novels, so you have an idea of how to guide a campaign if you want it to match the canon story of Dark Sun, without having to go and find all these old books somewhere. The Complete Gladiator's Handbook I find personally a little disappointing in terms of the amount of detail and options it provides. Perhaps I am a bit jaded for having encountered the Complete Starfarer's Handbook first, for Spelljammer. And then of course we have the print version of the Dark Sun box set. The essential thing you need if you're gonna run Dark Sun or understand it at all. And finally, the most useful source book to go along with the main Dark Sun box set is The Will and the Way. Not only does it expand a little bit on the psionics from the Psionics Handbook, but it also provides a bunch of details of locations and characters that your player characters might encounter as they go to various cities across the tier region. Now we will discuss my Dark Sun city tier list. First of all, we should begin our discussion with the city of Tyr itself, which I place firmly in the B tier. It's a solid starting location, but so much of its plot potential was blown immediately in the novels, instead of giving player characters time to explore Tyr as it was and lead up to their own revolution. It immediately became a bit of background information that informed many adventure modules going forward. Next, we'll discuss the city of Uruk, which I place in the A tier. You may not want to live there, but it's a solid adventure location, as well as a likely regional threat, with its warlike people and power-hungry overlord. Next, we will discuss my personal favorite city in the tier region of Athos, Rom. This city is an excellent location for characters to find both adventure and to set up a new base after they get away from the madness of cities like Tyr or Uruk. And for this reason, it earns its position in the S tier. Its neighbor Draj, on the other hand, is D-tier trash, surrounded by fields of mud out on the edge of the map, with little to do and no reason to be there. Joining Rom in the S tier is the city of Nibene, quite possibly the most pleasant city in all of Athos. Balak, meanwhile, will join Tyr in the B tier. There's not much going on with Balak beyond some merchant caravan nonsense, but it's a good starting location for players, especially if you want them to learn about Tyr by going to Tyr, as opposed to starting off in Tyr. And so that's why they're in this tier. And last and definitely least, the city of Gold will be dropped down into C tier, both because it's communist scum, and also because this city can gulg upon my cock.
I don't think I want to do this.
So that's about it for this Christmas special. If you've made it this far into the video, congratulations on having phenomenal endurance, and say witness in the comment section below. Before we go, however, I do owe you my list of recommended rule books to play Dark Sun. First of all, obviously we're going with 2nd edition. I'm not attached to any one particular edition of 2nd edition over another. This just happens to be the ones I have. You will obviously also need the complete Psionics Handbook. 2nd edition psionic rules leave much to be desired, but the modern style of just treating them as spell magic is a lazy cop-out, even if it is functional. But psionics are very integrated into the Dark Sun setting, so you will need to track a copy of this down. It is not available on Drive-Thru RPG in print, and I had to find a used copy online. You can also never go wrong with Sages and Specialists or Den of Thieves. 2 of the best D&D source books ever written, and useful for all editions. Den of Thieves in particular, if you want to be able to do anything involving the criminal underworld in pretty much any fantasy game. So that's about it for the year 2023. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and a good Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and a good President's Day, and a good Valentine's Day, and a good day, and a good night. And as always, until next time.
Remember me?